What's going on, family? I'm wondering, have you ever had to deal with difficult people? I'm talking about just straight up difficult folks. I mean, they would find a problem for every solution that you gave. They had you on an emotional roller coaster, always up and down. Well, here's the thing. Time to get it off. Time to get off. Get off that emotional roller coaster. Take the E off emotion and put some motion behind your boundaries. I'm going to show you how to do that today. You know what it is. You know who it is. You know where it is. Let's mix it up. We live in a world where it's breaking news 24/7, 365, 366 on a leap year. Social media, text messaging, DMs. People have the nerve to, in many cases, feel entitled to their access to you. The nerve of you. The nerve of some people. Feel like they can have access to get a response from you whenever they expect it. And if they don't get it, you're the problem. If they don't get it, they have a problem with it. You know, I came across something the other day, and matter of fact, listen, family, I want you to hit the thumbs up on this video. Come on. Hit the thumbs up on this video. Come on. Hit the thumbs up on this video. Talking about boundaries, building better boundaries. Come on, family, type that. Build better boundaries. Let's go, family. Build better boundaries. We're in part 4, and you know I came with more. Came across something the other day from psychologist Dr. Henry Cloud, who said, you have to train people in your life not to expect an instant response. Whew. Do you hear me on that? See, y'all don't want to have this real conversation. He says you have to train people in your life not to expect an instant response. Why? Because we're talking about boundaries. Let's add context to it. Why does he say that? Because he's saying if it's not a crisis, the people in your life who care about you shouldn't become irritated. Uh-oh. When you don't instantly call, when you don't instantly pick up the phone, when you don't instantly text them back as a matter of fact. Why? Because you're under no obligation to be available to somebody at all times. What you call an emergency, or what they call an emergency, in many cases is just urgency. What they call an emergency oftentimes is just clouded as that which is obligatory. They feel as if you're obligated to their will. They feel as if they're obligated, as if you're obligated to answer this question. When they tell you to jump, here's how they want you to respond. How high? I believe I can fly. That's what they want you to do. Yeah, they want you to literally soar into not more, into less of what it is. And they want you to feel less than who you are if you don't respond to their particular intentions and what it is that they have. Dr. Henry Cloud goes on to say that people who try to control you with their emotions are immature. Uh-oh. Come on, family. Type no control. No control formed against you shall prosper. No narcissism formed against you shall prosper. No gaslighting formed against you shall prosper. Take back the control. No control. Do I want what I want for my life, or do I just want what other people want for me to have? Dr. Henry Cloud goes on to say, people try to control you with their emotions are immature. A lot of people have not put an apostrophe between the I and the M in immature. They just remain immature rather than moving into the place to say, I'm mature. People who try to control you with their emotions are immature. And hear me, too many people are in relationship with their feelings. They're in a relationship with their feelings. Yeah, it's about what I want, about what I need, about what I have to have. Doesn't matter who is affected positively or negatively based upon how I feel about what I feel about. And they feel as if the world just revolves around them. They feel as if the world owes them something. They feel as if people owe them something. They feel as if people are obligated to do what they want them to do when they want them to do it. Last time I checked, you weren't the sun. Planets don't revolve around you. I don't revolve around you. Other people don't revolve around you. People are oftentimes stuck in a matrix of misery. And here's the thing, misery loves company, but you got to get to the place to say, listen, I will be neither. You don't have time to be on an emotional seesaw. You don't have time to be on an emotional roller coaster, up today, down tomorrow. And here's the thing, some people are as fickle. Some folk are as fickle as Michigan weather. You don't know if a storm is brewing. You don't know if sunshine is coming on a cloudy day. You don't know if clouds are coming on a sunshiny day. So here's what you got to do. Oftentimes, you're dressing for the emotional weather that people try to put you in. You're trying to dress your mind for the emotional weather that people oftentimes put you in. I don't know how they're going to feel today. So here's what I need to do. I don't even know what the weather's going to be like. Might be this time at 8 a.m. versus 12 p.m. Might be this time at 5 p.m. versus 12 p.m. Might be this time at 10 p.m. versus 5 p.m. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put on shorts and a coat. Only time I've ever seen that is on social media. Look and try to see in your community somebody wearing shorts and a coat. You laughing, much less thinking that person's crazy. Don't allow somebody's emotions to make you act crazy. You got on shorts and a coat. You got on scarf and slides. You got on a scarf and flip-flops. Why? Because people's emotions oftentimes are flip-floppy. Right? Because you've internalized this level of whatever you own, I'm on. I got to be ready for whatever. You don't know if their attitude is going to be 10 degrees below or it's going to be 90 degrees. You don't know when you talk to them, it's going to feel like winter or it's going to feel like summer. Listen, life is not Cedar Point. Life is not Disneyland. Life is not Six Flags. You got to get off the emotional roller coaster. How do you deal with difficult people? The reality is, sometimes difficult people can project what is happening in them onto you. Yeah. That's what oftentimes it brings you to. I wish I could hit an easy button on difficult people. Come on, family. Talk to me, family. Talk to me. Tight boundaries. Tight boundaries. Let's tackle it. Let's tackle how to deal with difficult people even more as we're talking about building better boundaries today. Listen, I want you to stick and stay. Don't touch that dial. More's on the way. After these messages, you know I'm going to be right back. Hey, what's up, family? Have you checked out my resources to grow your greatness? Yeah, I'm talking about to grow as an author and a speaker. You want to get my bestseller book blueprint. Somebody's waiting for you to write that book. Let me show you how to do it. I'm giving you all the strategies of what I've used to be a best-selling author of 16 books. Surely I know something to help you. Go and get my bestseller book blueprint, as well as whenever you write a book, people are going to ask you to talk about it. You want to get my successful speaker strategies. It's a amazing video tutorial download, 4.5 hours of just content of what it is that I do to share of how to communicate and really to connect as you're communicating. Your words are a paintbrush. What picture are you painting when you're speaking? I guarantee you, whatever you're building, you can build it better if you use better words. Go right now to theeaglesacademy.com/store and grow your greatness. Get all the resources. What's going on, family? Listen, that's right. Go to theeaglesacademy.com/soar/store, rather. And I guarantee it's going to empower you to soar. theeaglesacademy.com/store. I'm empowering you to soar. Get all the resources that I have. It's going to take your life to another level, especially when you're talking about building your books, writing your books, developing your speaking gifts. I got you on that. I'll help you out. theeaglesacademy.com/store. Let's soar. Talking about building better boundaries. And in many cases, to build better boundaries, you have to, in many cases, learn how to deal with difficult people. Everybody's not going to be dancing through daisies on cloud nine simply because you got some boundaries. And oftentimes the reality is this: you have to create healthy boundaries simply because a lot of people, a lot of difficult people, want to project their anger and their animosity onto you. They're stressed out, but they want you to feel their wrath. You got to move out of the way from their volcanic emotional eruptions. Move out of their way because their TNT, their trauma and triggers will hear me. They will explode on you. And here's what we have done. We have normalized dysfunction in our society. Got a lot of mental illness out there. A lot of mental illness, but not enough mental resiliency. Isn't it interesting? After certain people have a meltdown and give you a piece of their mind in a rage, all of a sudden now they feel good. And here's the thing, now you're the one who's distraught. Simply because they threw a Molotov cocktail of their emotions at you. They feel great. They saw the explosion. They got all of the issues off of their chest. And now it compressed you. So they feel great. But here's what happens to you now. Now you feel distraught. Do you see how that happens? Hear me. If you don't guide a person in how they should talk to you, if you don't guide a person in how they should treat you, if you don't guide a person in how they should respect you, I guarantee you they will mistreat you. Family, I just need you to type something. Come on, talk to me, family. Type OQP. Yeah, type OQP. OQP, yeah. What does that mean? Only quality people. Come on, type OQP. Only quality people. You can expect only quality people when you're only a quality person. OQP, only quality people. Quantity does not mean quality. Quality people value you. Why? Quality people value their time. Quality people see you as an asset, not as a liability. What do quality people do? Quality people don't bring division, they bring unity. Quality people see relationship as community. Quality people love intentionality. They love with intentionality. Quality people bless you, not stress you. Quality people see greatness in you. Quality people encourage you. Quality people cheer for you. Quality people see that a win for you is a win for them too. If you're not a part of our Eagles Academy, that's our motto. We got nothing but only quality people in our academy, in our community. Go right now to theeaglesacademy.com. You need to be in an environment of only quality people. Theeaglesacademy.com. When you get there, tap the Join Now button. I want you to fill out the form, and I guarantee you're going to be transformed. You don't just source-size your dream, you source-size your team. Surround yourself with a team of only quality people. Sharpen your skill set. Maximize your mindset. Build your tool set. Be an asset in any environment. Hear me. The people who get upset about you setting boundaries are the ones who are benefiting from you having none. Let me say it twice because oh, so nice. The people who get upset about you having boundaries. Oh, you so mean now. You done switched up. I've been A1 from day one. You acting brand new now. Only people who get upset about you setting boundaries are the ones who benefited from you having none, are the ones you cannot manipulate. Who cannot manipulate you, rather. Why? Because you know you feel bad. You know you're being manipulated. You know you're in the hands of a manipulator when you feel bad for what they did to you. Can't manipulate me anymore. Can't gaslight me anymore. Why? Because I'm not going to trauma bond with people's tempestuous trauma, triggers, and trials that they want to project onto me. We're talking about building better boundaries. Hear me. Really understanding how to guide a person, how they talk to you and handle you ensures that in a very difficult situation, maybe dealing with a difficult person, here's what you can do. You can remain respectful. You can remain honorable, but not allow them to treat you in any old kind of way and talk to you, here it is, out of the side of their neck. Do you hear me? I hope this is loud and clear. Right? Because here's the thing. Why are you going down to their level? You got to make them rise to yours. You're an only quality person. So guess what? Lead with quality in how you communicate. I ain't got to cuss you out. I ain't got to fuss you out. I can be respectful. I can be honorable in expressing who it is that I am, and then also what it is that I expect. I need you to understand me, because why am I saying this? Life is a fight for territory. And hear me, if you don't fight, what you don't will overtake you. You got to fight against procrastination, or procrastination is going to overtake you. You got to fight against stinking thinking that keeps you sinking. Or here's the thing, you'll always remain in the shallow end. You'll always drown in depression. It's going to keep you sinking. You always drown in insecurity and low self-esteem. You have to get to the place to where you internalize, it's my right to fight. I don't have to fight people. Why? Because the weapons of my warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds. When you used to say, listen, don't push me because I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head. Oh, it's like a jungle sometimes. When you used to internalize, you're going to get these hands. Now listen, it's moved to these hands. Why? Because I know I can fight a lot better with my faith than with my fist. Come on, family. Talk to me. Type fight the good fight. Fight the good fight of faith. Why? Because life is a fight for territory. If I don't fight, what I don't want will overtake me. How do I fight? As I just told you, fight the good fight of faith. You fight spiritually. You don't fight carnally. You fight spiritually. But here's the thing. You fight naturally with your boundaries. I'm fighting spiritually against every weapon that's trying to being formed against me. It's not going to prosper. The weapon may form, but it's not going to prosper. I'm going to prosper. You can't be the weapon that's formed against you by not having boundaries set for you. Who am I talking to? I hope it's you. I have to fight spiritually, but I also have to fight naturally. And I fight naturally with my boundaries. Do you hear me? Don't fight naturally with my fists. I don't fight naturally by going back and forth with you. As a matter of fact, I'm going forward with or without you. I fight by building better boundaries. Come on, family, type B3. Yeah, B3 like a vitamin. Yeah, B3. I hope you took your B3 today. Building better boundaries. Bigger, better, brighter. Why? Because I'm a fighter. We're talking about boundaries. And here's the thing. Remember I talked to you last time about the boundary property line? I want you to think about this. Look at a map of the country. Look at a map of the US of A. Look at a map of these yet to be United States of America. Look at a map of your particular country, your location, your nation, your state or your city. And here's what you'll see. What will you see? More than capitals. You'll see more than just landmass areas, more than regions, more than waterways. Here's what you will see. You will see boundary lines between states. You will see boundary lines between countries. You will see boundary lines. And here's the thing. The leniency or lack thereof with the laws are reflective within each location. Certain states are more lenient than others. Certain states are more restrictive than others. And guess what? It's based upon the boundary lines and the control that each region executes. For instance, you can't do in Detroit what they do in Vegas. Let me lower my glasses and look at you for those of you who've been to Vegas. Yeah. You can't do in Detroit what they do in Vegas. What do they say? What goes on in Vegas stays in Vegas, Lord have mercy. But what happens in Detroit can get you locked up. What happens in Colorado is different than what happens in Vegas. What happens in Atlanta is different than what happens in Vegas. Maybe. I don't know. Right? What happens in Vegas is different than what happens in Detroit. What happens in Vegas, they may applaud you. What happens in Detroit, they may handcuff you. Who am I talking to? Matter of fact, speaking of Detroit, the NFL draft is here. NFL draft is here in my beloved city of Detroit. 313 stand up. So much so that more than 275,000 people, plus people, have descended upon the city of Detroit. 313, represent. What up, doe? And here's the thing, when I think about the draft, I can't help but to remember the life, the legacy, and the lineage of Mr. Wally Triplett. If you don't know Mr. Wally Triplett, he was the first African-American drafted to play in the NFL by my Detroit Lions in the year of 1949. Selected as a running back return specialist. Mr. Wally Triplett was a son of a postal worker, and in many cases, Mr. Triplett's life shows that he was stamped for greatness, destined to be delivered to Detroit. And here's the thing. So often when society wants to lock up black men in a state pen, Mr. Triplett went to Penn State, facing racist bigotry, especially during that time, 30s, 40s, all while breaking barriers, being the first African-American to play in the NFL. Mr. Triplett understood his assignment. What was his assignment? His assignment was about more than just playing, it was about creating. And for many players who are drafted in the NFL, NFL doesn't just stand for National Football League, NFL stands for not for long. And so, guess what? He understood that in many cases, so his career spanned beyond just athletics into education, spanned into business management, working for the Chrysler Corporation. You know what the NFL draft is a reminder of? It's a reminder, here it is, that you and I have been drafted by God to do great things. Yeah. Listen, it's not a rough draft. It's a final draft. God didn't have a meeting to decide if he was going to choose you. Here's what he does. He uses who he chooses. Listen, you were chosen before you were born. Beyond anybody calling your name. Before anybody called your name. Before you ever walked across a stage. Here's what you would do. Here's what it was for you. You were called, and your calling wasn't a conference call. You were chosen to be the first one in your family to be a millionaire. Who am I talking to? Come on, family. Type one. One. Got this one life to live. Got this one particular vision that I have. I got this one boundary that's going to change the trajectory of my life. You were chosen to be the first one in your family to be a millionaire. You were chosen to be the first one to break generational curses. You were chosen to be a change agent. You were chosen to be a mentor. You were chosen to be an industry leader. You were chosen to be a trendsetter. You were chosen to be a trailblazer. You were chosen to be a history maker and a record breaker. Who am I talking to? I hope it's you. Family, type I was chosen. Type I'm chosen. Chosen for greatness. Here's the thing. You're more than a fan in the stands who's a spectator. You're a participator. What are you doing to participate in your own life story? In your own journey? Think about it. On that football field, you're going to face opponents. On the field of life, you're going to face opponents. You're going to face people who want to trip you up, who want to tackle you. But here's what you can't do. You can't let it stop you. Right? You got to keep running to your goal. They can't touch you. And there's going to be a touchdown because can't nothing stop you. You all the way up. And here's the thing. When you're selected, you got to be selective. Are you hearing me? Are you feeling me? Come on, family, type selective. When you're selected, when you're chosen, when you've been drafted, when you're selected, you got to be selective. Here's the thing about NFL players. They recognize this, and they may not always do this, but they know this. As an NFL player, you got to be selective when you've been selected. I got to be selective about the people that I hang around with. I got to be selective where I go. I got to be selective with what I eat. I got to be selective with my particular appetite. Mental appetite. Spiritual appetite. What is it to be a baller, but you have no boundaries? Sadly, statistics suggest 80% oftentimes of NFL athletes, after they not just retire out of the league, a lot of times when their career ends, that could be in a couple months, that could be in a couple years, 80% of them go bankrupt. 80% of them are broke. Why? Because they didn't have a financial boundary. What are your boundaries? Listen, you got all them Amazon boxes outside your door waiting for you. And now you're wondering why at the end of the month, you got more month than you got money. I didn't create a boundary financially. I was not a good steward of my finances. Are you a steward of your health? Are you a good steward of your relationships? Like somebody told me today, failure is not an option. Why? Because you don't know how strong you are until being strong is your only option. Come on, family. Failure is not your option. Success. boundaries, blessings. It's not just going to be an option, it's going to be a requirement for me. Like I told you, listen, between Detroit and Vegas, the rules are different. Vegas doesn't have many boundaries. Why? How do I know Vegas doesn't have many boundaries? It's called Sin City. What does that tell you? But go to one of them Bible Belt states like Alabama. Go to one of them Bible Belt states like Arkansas, Kentucky, and Mississippi. You're going to get a rude awakening. Here's what maps tell us. Maps have a measure of longitude and latitude. Here's what relationships have a measure of. Relationships have a measure for attitude and altitude. Let me say that again. Maps have a measure for latitude and longitude, longitude and latitude, latitude and longitude. But here's what relationships have. Relationships have a measure for attitude and altitude. Yeah. Based upon someone's attitude can now decide how high or low they go in your life. That's why it's important for you to go through the seasons with people. Hear me? Yes, seasons, spring, summer, winter, fall, y'all. Maybe in the springtime, the attitude is springing up. Saw something that you hadn't seen before. Attitude just springing up in the spring. Summertime, now they want to be a hot boy or a hot girl. They don't want to have a healed man summer. They don't want to have a healed woman summer. They want to be a hot boy, a hot girl in the summertime. In the fall, they fall off. In the winter, do they feel like a loser or a winner? Hello, somebody. You have to go through the seasons with people. Why? Because people have vicissitudinous changes. You got to recognize, do I have the grace for this person? Everybody's not a bad person, but you don't have the grace for everybody. Family type, I need grace. I need God's grace to deal with you. And I need you to have God's grace to deal with me. Why? Because here's the thing. You're not only dating the adult version of somebody, oftentimes you're dating their childhood traumas. You're dating their emotions that oftentimes they dealt with in childhood that now shows up in adulthood, because certain things sometimes don't show in singleness, in isolation. But when you get with somebody, now it shows. People change as the seasons change. How do people deal with grief? How do they deal with loss? How do they deal with when they had a bad day at the job? How do they deal when in many cases it feels as if the walls are closing in on them? How do they deal with the issues that in many cases they have not addressed and they won't even seek help for, to get counseling, to get therapy, to have mentors in their life? You got to look at these things. Just because they fine don't mean they're mine. Just because they're attractive don't mean y'all compatible. Because here's the thing, their attitude might not be palatable. Come on, family. I got to recognize this. People change as seasons change. Here's the thing. Only person who don't change is Jesus. Scripture says Jesus Christ the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. Not you or I. He don't change to be with you. You got to change to be with him. Can you handle the changes that oftentimes people go through and try to grow through? Come on, family. Type grow. Type grow. I have to grow in grace. I have to grow in, hear me, knowing my no. I got to know who to know, and I got to know who to know. Growing by knowing your no is about discernment. It's about development. It's about direction. It's about personal interconnection spiritually. So that God shows you who you are, and also God shows you who they are. I got to grow. I got to bloom where I've been planted. I have to build better boundaries. Yeah, that's what it's about. D3. We got to build better boundaries. Build better boundaries. My no is my no. I'm standing on business. This is who I am. This is where I am. This is what I expect. Love me or leave me. Like me or say goodbye to me. But my boundaries are a form of self-care to and for me. I care enough about me to create some healthy boundaries. Family, I want you to sow into this. Yeah. I want you to sow into building better boundaries. I want you to sow into grace for your life. Remember I told you type, I need grace. Here's what it is. God is giving you grace not to keep you in the same place, but to give you better, to build better. Certain things in life have been so broken. Certain things in life have been so broken that here's what you got to do now. You got to build back better. You got to turn the stumbling block into a stepping stone. Build your self-esteem back up again. Build your self-concept back up again. Build yourself spiritually again. Build how you look at yourself in the mirror and see value in you, and you love yourself and you know your worth. Build your ideas, your impact, and your influence back again. And emerge bigger, better, brighter than ever before. As you sow your seed, I want you to name your seed. Yes. Whether it's Cash App, $Access Identity, whether it is PayPal. Yeah, you can do that as well. info@eddieconnor.com. Whether it is even on Zelle, EddieConnorJR@gmail. I want you to get to that particular place to where you name your seed as you sow your seed. Sow where you grow. Sow where you soar. Maybe you're naming your seed grace. Maybe you're naming your seed healthy boundaries. Maybe you're naming your seed loving myself. Maybe you're naming your seed grow. Maybe you're naming your seed growth. Maybe you're naming your seed just bountiful blessings. Whatever you're naming your seed, I'm standing in agreement with you. 30, 60, 100-fold. That God will bless you exceedingly and abundantly, above all that you can ask or think. I've got some resources out there for you. eaglesacademy.com/store. My bestseller book blueprint. It's going to help you to turn your manuscript, take your manuscript to the marketplace, to be an industry authority as an author, to increase your sales. Whether you are an author, whether you are an aspiring author, go ahead, get my bestseller book blueprint. I've written 16 books out there. Come on, show me some of those books that I have out there. You can get my books even at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, iTunes, Audible. Ebooks, audiobooks, hard copies as well. They are available. You can even get a signed copy, eddieconnor.com/shop. So I've written books, but I'm also showing you how to write your book. How's it that every single time when I'm writing a book, and I drop the book, release the book, it goes number one. It's a science. There are strategies to it. Let me show you how to make yours work for you. Also, get my successful speaker strategies. It is a amazing video tutorial, 4.5 hours of me just talking, sharing, speaking about why communication is so needed and so necessary. Go to the eaglesacademy.com/store. You can get that there as well. Whatever you're building, I guarantee you can build it better if you use better words. course, you also want to join my Eagles Academy. We're talking even about the power of communication. We're talking about effective communication, talking about how communicators are connectors. I'm teaching this in a different way than how I did it on my video tutorial, but you need both. Join us, eaglesacademy.com/store to join us in my Eagles Academy community. Come on, family, drop some Eagles in the chat. It's all about soaring into greater success and purpose. You got to be around people who are going to push you out of the nest, who are really going to take your life to a greater space and place, to where you're breaking past limitations. You move into a place and space of that which is unlimited. Why? Because you're unstoppable. And undoubtedly, once you join my Eagles community, yeah, undoubtedly, I want you to join my Eagles community, eaglesacademy.com. Tap the join now button when you get there. Fill out the form. Be transformed. Family, I hope I gave you some more in part 4. But I don't know. Can we thrive in part 5? Come on, give me a air 5, somebody. Give me an emoji high 5. If you want part 5, just type part 5. Come on, family. If you want to get more, just type thrive. Because I feel like we need part 5. But I don't want to give you what you don't want. Yeah. Come on, type thrive to get part 5. That's what we're doing. We're building better boundaries. We're training. Here's what we're doing. We're training for reigning. We're training for reigning. That's what we're doing. Family, in the mix at 6 is out of time, but you know I'm not out of truth. But like that poetic genius Tupac Shakur said, there's no way I can pay you back. But my plan is to show you that I understand. So I want you to know that you are appreciated. You are celebrated. This is a place to where you go where you're not tolerated, but you are celebrated. That's right, because it's all about empowering you to go to another level of your greatness. So here's what I want to do. I want to thank you for rocking with me. I want to thank you for riding with me. I want to thank you for rolling with me. Why? Because that's just how we roll. And we do that each and every single day of the week. In the mix at 6. At 6. That's right. On the digital airwaves of social media, but particularly on YouTube. So as you're here on the YouTube side and as you head over to the YouTube side, I want you to make sure that you like, comment, share, subscribe. Come on, family. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Yeah. Once you do that, once you hit the notification bell, thumbs up this video. Come on, family. Thumbs up this video. Thumbs up this video. In order for my channel to grow, I'm grateful for comments. But what I need are thumbprints. So I need you to hit that thumbs up button. That's the boundaries for YouTube. YouTube has specified their boundaries, and that is for the channel to grow. Got to hit that thumbs up button. Why? Because there's a channel for change. That's right. There's a channel that breaks chains. And so I want you to make sure that you follow me as well on social media at Eddie Connor Jr. Come on, family. Put some respect on my name. EDDIECONNOR JR. Y'all keep showing love. I'm going to keep showing up. Family, if I can help you, if I can serve you in any way, make sure that you reach out to me. It's been yours truly, Dr. Eddie. And of course, I want you to make sure that you invite me to speak at your event. Can't forget to say that. I'd love to come and speak at your event, whether it's your college, your community center, whether it's your church, whether it's your school, whether it's your session. Let's make it happen. Reach out to me, info@eddieconnor.com, dreddieacademy.com/invite. It's yours truly, Dr. Eddie. Family, you know I'm your main man, 100 grand, your brother from another mother. It's been fun, but you know a brother gotta run. But I want you to know it's been a privilege and a pleasure, a treat and a treasure, a joy beyond measure. But I want you, yes, you, to remember to keep the faith and believe it's going to be bigger, better, brighter. Peace and love. Keep soaring higher. Breaking news, this message is for you. Yeah, I'm talking to you. You don't just soar as high as your dream, you soar as high as your team. Why are you not a part of our team, our Eagles community team, where it's all about soaring into success and greater purpose? I want you to go right now and join us. Yeah, right now. Go to theeaglesacademy.com. When you get there, tap the Join Now button, fill out the form, and I guarantee you're going to be transformed. Your mindset, you're going to maximize that. You're going to strengthen your skill set. You're going to build your tool set. You're going to heal your heart set, find serenity in your soul set, and be an asset in any environment. It's time to grow in your greatness, in your business, in your relationships, in your purpose, with individuals who are already growing. And we have a motto in our community where a win for me is a win for you. A win for you is a win for us too. Let's win together. Come on, join us, experience the transformation, experience the celebration, experience the opportunity, experience not just information, but implementation. As I coach, as I teach, as I train, as I mentor you and show you how to use strategy, structure, and solutions to take your vision to another dimension. Meet us there. Join us there. I can't wait to see your face in our digital space. Go right now to theeaglesacademy.com. When you get there, tap the Join Now button, fill out the form, and let's be transformed together. Spread your wings, and we'll win over and over again. See you there.